All right, welcome back to The Amazing Mama. I am your host, Marie Benson. I am so happy you're here. You're in the right place at the perfect time. So today is episode 16, Why You Don't Have What You Want. Why don't you have it now? That's the question, okay? So this is all about, we're following up to episode 15, which is all about like dreams actually, okay? It's who you are now. What do you want? Like, who do you want to be, right? So it's all about dreams and being successful and getting those dreams. This one is all about like, why don't you have it? Like, what might be getting in the way? Resistances, right? Resistances. And I can't take full credit for this. I'm not the first person to talk about resistances. They come up. It doesn't matter. Hold on, let me grab this book. And I'm back. It doesn't matter who you are. If you are human, like resistances will come up for you. They'll try to get you. Doesn't matter who you are, okay? What matters is that there are people that know how to work through these resistances that come at them, right? So the inspiration from this is the book, The War of Art. Here it is. I love it. Look at that. I got little notes in there and everything because it's just amazing. And I'm not going through this book. This is the inspiration for this episode. You should get this book. Like if you've ever wanted to be successful and you are not yet in something, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what endeavor it is, okay? Mamahood, creating anything, okay? Stephen Pressfield is the author if you don't know it. It's a vital gem. It is. Okay? It is. I'm not kidding. Because this affects everything. You have to be mindful of these obstacles because they will come up. And you will want to quit. You have probably quit something in your life. I know I have quit many things. Like I'm like an entrepreneur at heart. I feel like most teachers are. I was a teacher before I was a mom. And I feel like those things are like, if you're an entrepreneur, you're a teacher. If you're a teacher, you're an entrepreneur. I really do with most of those cases. Okay. And it's fun. It's exciting. Like finding new ways to solve problems, to make things easier and people's lives better, my life better. Like, yes, sign me up. That is what I do. That's what I want for people. I don't like watching people suffer. I don't want them to suffer when they don't have to. I certainly think that there are some extenuating circumstances that are outside of our control, but that doesn't mean like I'm not going to try. I'm going to do everything I can that is within my control. That's the thing. Like there's this one saying about like if your car is dented, do you throw away the whole thing? No, just because you can't control everything doesn't mean you don't do your part with what you can control. Okay, of course, you do your part. That's what I would recommend. All right, you got to start someplace. So why don't you have what you have right now? So I'm just going to go over a few things. The first thing is I think there's two categories here to resistances. One, it's stuff that you allow. All right, and two, it's stuff that you create. So it's either the reason why you quit oftentimes. Another reason I shouldn't say that. Sometimes it's because you don't really want it. Why things don't happen, why you fail at something is because you don't really want that thing. So I will put that out there. Okay, so like one thing is a legit thing, but the other thing is like resistances. So the first thing is if there is something that you have wanted, like you got to ask yourself and figure out authentically, do you not have it because it's not for you? Like you don't really want it? You know, like there's, I am still into health and fitness. I was a PE teacher before this. I was with a company, an MLM company, which by the way, they're not bad. Like pyramid schemes, that's illegal. MLMs, they're great. They're fine. Okay. As long as they're within your passion. Like don't do something because you think it makes money. Do something because you love it. It calls to you. And that was my problem for a long time. I wasn't being authentic like myself. And somebody asked me something like, why aren't you successful? I'm like, I don't know. Like, well, do you like it? And I'm like, no. I was mostly because like at least the people I was attracting at the time were people that like wanted to be in shape but didn't want to do the work for it. Didn't want to do eat the food. Like they wanted to like have a crappy diet and be in shape. And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. So, you know what I mean? They didn't want to work out. They're like, I don't have time and I don't really eat healthy. It's like, well, I don't like that's your aligned action and it's misaligned to your goals. So you got to pick one or the other, right? Okay. But anyway, sorry. I realized I didn't really want that. It didn't really bring me joy. See how I figure out how I like think, does it bring me joy? And the answer was no. Now, brings me joy to be healthy, and I will help people who like come to me for help. Like, hey, how do I get fit? Yeah, okay, that's different. But if I have, like, forget it. I'm not helping people who don't want to be helped anymore, who live in scarcity. Abundance only. All right, I can't help you if you live in scarcity, but I can and I will if you want the help. So the first thing, like I said, resistance, 2 types. One, the ones you create, so that's like self-sabotage, and 2, the stuff that you allow. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that all resistance, all obstacles, it's up to you. You have the power to control it, to do something different, to work through it. Okay, you can't ignore it. It's always going to come back. But you can address it, and you should, and deal with it. All right, so I want to give you some of these warning signs why you don't have it. Again, 1, maybe you don't want it. So you have to ask yourself, does it bring you energy? Does it bring you joy? And if it doesn't, then no, try something else. Okay, millions of things out there, billions of things. 2, what like limiting belief, what trauma, so anything that causes you to feel unsafe, has led you to believe that you can't do X, Y, and Z. You know? So like give you an example. Like maybe you have a limiting belief about money in general. Like maybe no one in your family was a millionaire. For me, I was a writer. Like I felt like it was impossible. It was impossible. Like human beings aren't writers. Like you're supernatural. You're superhuman if you write novels. I think you're awesome, but you are still human. I know that now as an adult. I started talking to authors. There's actually a local author I got to talk to. And you know, one thing that like was an eye opener for me was like, I'm like, isn't it hard? And she's like, hard? She's like, yes. And she's a best-selling New York Times best-selling novelist. And this person in my, like, not in my neighborhood, but in my neighborhood. We have a big, it's not a neighborhood, town. Okay. And it's incredible. I actually know more than one best-selling writer that lives in my town. It's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, what am I doing? And I realized what I wasn't doing. I wasn't writing. So I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know why it was so hard for me to realize, but it was. Okay. I need someone to like tell me like, well, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. Okay. But anyway, self-sabotage. So things like doubts starts coming into your mind, right? You're like, well, you know, I don't know if I need this. I don't know if blah, blah, blah. I don't know if I need to do this. I'm fine doing this. So you talk yourself out of it, right? A couple other things to consider is like self-sabotage. Like it's not just about doubt. It's like you are like you're scared of success, right? What if this takes more time? I don't know what it looks like. What if I can't do it? Like what if I get all these people and then I can't help them? I don't know what to say to them. You're talking yourself out of it. Okay, whatever you have a passion for, you have a passion to research and learn more about, not just about the topic itself, but how to deliver it. You got to practice, you got to do the thing. Okay, when I do these podcasts and YouTube stuff, sometimes I re-record because I don't say it the way I want it to sound the first time. Like, okay, re-record. No big deal, you know? Or make mistakes and show people I'm human. Because I am. And I'm great with that. Okay? That's fine. That's my only option, so I'll take it. All right? Yeah. So these are all the things. Why can't you have it? Why haven't you been successful before? All right. The other thing is what do you allow? So excuses. Like you create excuses. Well, this and that, da, 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 da. And as a mom, you can come up with a lot of excuses, right? You're busy, you're tired, da, da, da. And as a mom, I could. But not only are these 10 to 15 minute like sessions for your mom time, they're for my mom time too. I don't have forever and a half to do all these things. I like wish I had more time, but I don't. But I'm happy for the time I have with my little one, with my daughter and my family, my husband. Like we were on vacation 2 weeks ago. That's great. I'm going to lean into that. I'm not going to wish for it to go by faster because I want to record more. No, I've picked a schedule and time frame that works for me. You can do the same thing. You can curate for that, your schedule for yourself. So anyways, like excuses. All right. And it's not that these things aren't real, right? Maybe you have some really negative people in your life. Yeah, you better believe I do. I have some real downers. And there's another thing too, like I also have to sometimes like remind myself, don't allow yourself to feel bad when people live in scarcity around you, especially people you care about. And I know I live in abundance. Like they see problems for every solution, and I see solutions for every problem. Like I have stopped talking to these people, like helping them. Like I just listen now, which okay, that's fair. People sometimes need to need advice or they need to listen. And that actually saves, like once you figure that out when you're talking to people, you feel a lot better. Okay? Like a lot of my family, like they just want me to listen. It's hard for me because I want them to problem solve, right? I'm like, it's so easy, just make it a little bit easier. But no, they want to solve the whole problem. That's hard. That can be real hard because that goes into like perfectionism also oftentimes, right? And then you really can't solve things because it's like you have to feel like you have the perfect solution before you do anything. Messy action, people, all right? Okay. So that is like self-sabotage versus what you allow. See, don't allow that. So yeah, I could make excuses, but here I am after bedtime. I'm making these episodes 10, 15 minutes at a time. And it's working and it's great and that's all you need. You need a shift. So there's the three things I talked about why you don't have what you want. And you got to decide why you don't have the success you have wanted. Like you wouldn't be listening to this if you have already gotten there, right? But one, again, maybe do you really want it? Two, are you creating resistance? Are you self-sabotaging yourself? Like there's always that imposter syndrome too. Like again, if it's something like don't do things because they make money. Do things that make money that you love to do. You can build something what you love to do, right? Like I love the idea of making lives easier, making my life easier, and I'm just sharing with you what I've done. You do the same. And does it take research sometimes? Like, yeah, but that's like, yeah. Like I have to research things for myself. Like, okay, what are my options here? And I'm just sharing those things with you. You know, even some mindset stuff. I've taken I've absorbed all these things, like good things, good quotes, good, advice, mentorship, and I'm wrapping it all together and I'm delivering it to you. And could I say to myself, well, I don't know if I'm the expert on this. Yeah, I could say that, but I'm not going to. I have value to offer you, and so do you. You are valuable. You are worth it. You just got to lean into it. Lean into it, become the expert if you have to, okay? But only if you love it. You have to be called to it. Love it first. Maybe that's knitting. Maybe that's painting. Maybe that's walking. Maybe it's, you have a project to lose 10 pounds. How are you going to do that? What are you going to do? Okay? Tons of things. Third thing is, in general, what do you allow? Like self-sabotage is one thing, and then what do you allow? Like, are you someone to make excuses, to complain, or are you going to problem solve? Are you going to learn from your mistakes? Are you going to look at your weaknesses and be excited that you figured out and you're aware of your weaknesses and now you can make those better? Now you can improve on them. So don't allow these resistances to get you and bring you down. So other things I want to say to this, and maybe this is 4, 5, and 6. I don't know what. I'm going to put a number in. But other things, like why don't you have something now? Well, have you done the work? Have you done the aligned action? Again, if you are someone who wants to lose weight, are you eating well? Are you eating correctly? Are you exercising regularly according to your goals? If you want to be a writer, are you writing? If you want to be a doctor, are you studying for and taking the MCATs, passing the MCATs, going to med school? It's the same. It's the same. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom, be a stay-at-home mom. If you want to be a painter, paint. If you want to be a writer, write. If you want to be an actor, act. But lean into it. And this is the last thing I want to leave you with. It's all about endurance. Okay? It's all about endurance. And how do you create endurance? Well, honestly, to me, it's two things. It's authenticity plus, what's the second thing? Oh my gosh, I wrote it down today. And of course, who knows where those notes are? Authenticity plus problem solving equals endurance. Okay? You living a life that is authentic to yourself. Peel back the layers, figure out what you really like, what really brings you energy. Okay? Like seriously, I want you to think about what your favorite color is. And is it your favorite color because you like when you look at that, you're like, oh, I love that, it's beautiful. Or is it your favorite color because it's somebody else's favorite color? Or somebody told you that. Or you had a lot of it, like your parents like painted your room that color. And you don't realize, like, wait a second, that isn't my favorite color. What's your favorite, like, food? Is it your favorite food because you love it? Or is it your favorite food because somebody else makes it for you or likes it or whatever? Favorite baseball team? These are all important things. What brings you joy? What brings you joy? What do you actually like? What brings you energy you get excited about? Like, remember Christmas Day, right? That kind of energy. What gives you that kind of energy? You know what's like brings me joy? Like being hungry, sitting at a restaurant and waiting for my food and then seeing the waiter or waitress come with my food. That is powerful energy. So when something gets me that excited, I know it's for me. Okay. All right. Ladies, do something that makes you happier today. Find out like your favorite whatever, figure out that energy, all that good stuff, okay? But this kind of, where does this go, okay? This is all about like looking for those road bumps, all right? Remember, just because you're struggling, somebody once said this, just because you're struggling doesn't mean you're failing, all right? Failing is just, it's nothing, you only fail if you really do give up, but have endurance and decide if something's not for you and like wait, like get successful and then be like, okay, do I like this? Because you can do it. Endure, be authentic to yourself, problem solve, and you'll get there. Okay. You'll have the success. Be mindful and be aware of these obstacles, these resistances. Ask yourself if you really want it. And then once these resistances come up, like ask yourself, is there a real threat? Like, can I work through this? And work through it, move on. All right, here's to moving forward, madams. All right, here's to winning and celebrating. I'll see you on the other side. See you next time.